Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to a weekly message from Jesus. Our Father's book, Messages of God for a Modern World, is currently available on Amazon. We have it in soft cover and Kindle, so if you'd like to have 60 of his messages available that you can read at your will, you know where to get them, and that's Amazon.com. So our Father is waiting here for us. He's ready to speak, so let us begin. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and listening to me. Tonight, I think I have a fairly interesting message for you. It is that some do, some don't, and some will and some won't. Think about that. Some do. There are many people that are not afraid to mention that they believe in me. They are not afraid to tell others, and they're not afraid to do what they can to bring people to understand my simple message and live good lives. But some won't. Some understand, but they maybe fear ridicule. Uh, Maybe they're too bashful to do it, or maybe they just are looking for excuses. So you see, there are some that totally understand, but they don't do it. Now, there are some that will listen to the messages and go forth and spread my words. So you see, some will. I want you to think about what it was like when I walked the earth. Now, I've talked about this many times before, so what I'm going to say shouldn't be a surprise. The Romans hated us. Nobody ever heard of the one God, the God that I spoke of. Oh, the Jewish people did. They understood, but the vast majority of people didn't truly understand. The Romans forced them to basically worship many different deities. They thought that they had to have altars in their homes and they had to speak to the Roman gods. I was the first to tell them that they did not have to speak to the Roman gods, that in fact they weren't real. Now that really irritated the Romans. Many people realized that if they followed my teachings, that violence would follow them. Many didn't want to take the chance. So you see, there were many that understood, but didn't do what I asked them to do. Now, you see, they didn't understand the concept of heaven. I had to explain it to them. There were people that from different deities and from different beliefs that thought that there was a realm, a place where your souls went. For instance, the Vikings thought of Valhalla. They didn't really understand it, but they were on the path to believing something that was accurate. How can I get you to help spread my words? I wish I had that answer. I make my words readily available to you. You can listen to the messages that I bring you each week through Barry. I've had them take my words, and put them in book form. You can buy the book and read them at your leisure. He's even used something that's very high tech for him, Kindle. You can download it on your new computers. Listen to them on your little telephones. I mean, now your phones are very, very important. I mean, like they become the most important things ever for most of you. If you look at the kids, they're going to get stiff necks just from looking at their telephones. They think that modern technology is the most important thing that has ever come to humans. I assure you that's not true. The most important thing that has ever come to humans are my messages. Through the ages, it's been very difficult to know of my teachings. I've relied on fathers and mothers to teach the children. Many of them have just simply had to learn the lessons of life. They didn't have access to much of the writings or information that I give to you. That's not the way of life. It's not the way things are. It's not that people had access to all of my information. You see, it's a very difficult time. People have weapons. Individuals use those weapons to commit crimes. There are many things that are not the way that I would like them. Some people will spread my words, and some people won't. Some people will follow my teachings, and some people won't. Some people will do charity for others, and some people won't. People think that they can take their riches, wealth, and power with them when they go. Well, they can't. That is a relatively simple lesson. I speak of things every week. I try to tell you many things. I try to get you to follow my words. There are still many people out there that fear death. You're going to die. I arrange it that way. Some people will fear death, and some people won't. If you believe in me, you won't fear death. If you don't believe in me, you will. Life can be very simple for you. You can follow my words. You can do what I ask. You can believe in me. What could be more simple? Humans are living in very dangerous times. People have been able to use the great wealth to take advantage of others. People have used your political systems to take advantage of others. You see, politicians could do incredible things. They could use their knowledge to follow my words and help others. Many of them don't care about others. You're probably starting to catch on to that. Take a look at how wealthy your politicians have become. They don't get paid much, well, but they are incredibly wealthy. How do you think that happens? Doesn't happen from them following my words. It happens from them trying to gain power and influence over others and using that power and influence to have them give them money so that they can pursue their own ends. Take a look at your pharmaceuticals. They spend immense amounts of money influencing politicians. The politicians, in turn, allow them to charge exorbitant prices for their items. This could all be controlled. There are people out there that can't afford their medications. It's not their fault. Politicians have allowed the pharmaceuticals to price their items beyond the limits of what people can pay because they know that they can have the government step in and subsidize the payments. So now you have to pay higher taxes. It's it's a vicious circle. I would hope that all of you out there that are listening understand much of what is going on around you. You can't trust your news networks. They're also influenced by the politicians. They're influenced by money. They have to sell commercials. So people won't buy their commercials if the news medias aren't saying what those people want them to say. So you see, this all becomes a vicious circle. You can see that some people will do what's right and some people won't. Now, each individual has the ability to influence others. If you influence one person and that person goes out and influences somebody else, the good influence can skyrocket. It can go everywhere. Be among the group of people that will. Do not be among the people that won't. If you have just heard those messages, you know what's right and what is wrong. Start with your family. Influence them to do what's right. If you see your children abusing drugs, swearing, hanging out in gangs, tell them it's wrong. Do not be afraid to tell your children what is right and what is wrong. Many families don't have fathers today because those fathers didn't know what is right and what is wrong. There are many souls out there. They're going to find out. They're all going to die, some sooner than others. That's their life plans. They will find out what is right and what is wrong. I plead with you each week to follow my words. Many of you still refuse to do it. That is a fact. Stop and think what you could do if you really wanted to help. Stop and think what you could do if you really wanted to influence others. Stop and think what you could do if you just simply followed my teachings. Help others. Tell others that you love them. Go out of your way to say hello. Good morning. How are you doing today? It's the little things in life that can have a larger influence than you can ever imagine. When souls return over here, they often speak of how they were influenced by just the simplest of actions on others. You don't have to go out and be an evangelist and tell others all of the secrets that you think you know about heaven. Because some can do that. Some can really help others. But some use their abilities of speech to just simply gain wealth and power as well. Right and wrong are the most simplest of all comments or lessons that you can learn. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. See, you knew I was going to say that, didn't you? Once again, I'm not going to disappoint because I'm going to say it every week. It's the most important lesson you'll ever learn. So thank you for others. Be among those that do. Don't be among those that don't. So each week I bless all of you that listen. I thank you for tuning in. I'll be back again next week. My title might not be as clever, but my message will be as real. So, goodbye, and we will speak again. Thank you, Father. Another another great message. Another great one of your best titles. I like it. So, please tell others. I'm trying to make it as easy for as you can, as I can. Just simply be a good influence. We'll be back again next week. Thank you for listening. Bless all of you. Tell others that you love them. And goodbye.